Good evening, football fans, and welcome to a Jacksonville Jaguar theme episode of the Big D podcast. Before I bring in these special guests, all you need to do is subscribe, like, comment, or share the Spunky Spectrum Sports YouTube page. We've got some Open Championship content coming out next week, and you never know what will appear on the YouTube page. So, if you know me over the past 2+ decades, you know I am a huge Jacksonville Jaguar fan. No matter if we're playing the AFC Championship game or going 1-15, I am rooting blood, sweat, and tears for my Jags. And luckily tonight, I've got somebody who's just as big, if not a bigger Jags fan than me, from Jacksonville Beach, Florida. It's my buddy Brad Harvin.
Yeah. Thanks, Dylan. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I'm excited to talk about the Jaguars. I mean, we're certainly excited down here. Seem like we're always excited. I have been a Jaguar fan since the inception. I was at the inaugural game. Yes, they lost 10-3 to then the Houston Oilers way back then, but I've been a periodic season ticket holder here and there, but obviously living in town, definitely have my finger on the pulse of what's going on with the franchise.
In a way, Northeast Florida, Southeast Georgia are two great areas for football fans because you've got
Definitely.
Florida State, you've got the University of Georgia, you've got so many. And the Jaguars coming in the middle 90s gave fans in your area of the country a professional football team because the only two teams that won football teams that were in Florida were the Bucks in Tampa and the Miami Dolphins.
Yep. Yeah. Growing up, obviously the Jaguars weren't around. As you can tell, I'm a little long in the tooth here, but growing up, I was a big Dolphins fan. I loved me some Dan Marino. He was always fun to watch and always kept somebody in the game. And but now I think the Jaguars may have somebody as well that hopefully can have the longevity and just accolades that Marino had, but maybe bring home that big trophy at the end of the year too.
Oh, wait a minute. Are you talking about that Trevor Lawrence guy from Clemson?
Yeah, I'm not talking about Tim Tebow. I'm talking about Trevor Lawrence. That's correct. Absolutely.
Yeah, so obviously, it was weird. Like watching Week 1 last year against the Colts, I'm like, oh, I want to win, but I know if we win, it may cost us Trevor Lawrence. And when I saw the Jets somehow beat the Rams Week 15, I'm like,
right.
Holy cow! The Jets are going to lose. The Jaguars are going to get Trevor Lawrence, and then of course New York won Week 16, meaning the Jags would get Trevor Lawrence. So when you knew the Jaguars had won the Trevor Lawrence Bowl, what were your thoughts?
I was ecstatic. I mean, I got to be honest. As the season was going on, I have a 8-year-old son. He's about to be 9, so he's kind of getting his groove when it comes to football. So there was a lot of talk about Justin Fields. Hey, this guy could be our quarterback. Let's watch some Ohio State games. My son actually kind of became a Justin Fields fan as the season went along. But then everything happened and the Jets lost. And, of course, the Jaguars moved in that number 1 spot. So I had to start talking up Trevor Lawrence. And, we watched the college football playoffs and all that kind of stuff. And really, even leading up to the draft, really talking about him, where he's from, which is he's right up, he's from, Georgia, so close by, talked about how he just got married and how the fans in Jacksonville rallied around and went and got on their registry and purchased some gifts for him and his bride, including a overpriced toaster, which I think has made its around the media. So I was absolutely ecstatic that Lawrence was going to be the pick, and I got a feeling that Urban Meyer was too, because I don't think he would have come to Jacksonville if they didn't have that number 1 pick. If he didn't have a chance to get his hands on Trevor Lawrence and see what he can do in the pros. I don't think he would be the head coach.
How much had you seen Lawrence play at Clemson?
Quite a bit. I mean, I'm definitely a college football fan. I went to the University of Florida, so I saw Tim Tebow, I saw Urban Meyer, I've seen them all. So this is a hotbed of college football. So I mean, it has been a little more difficult over the years to watch as much college football with the amount of kids I have in my life, but I still try and make time to look at the tape, look at the games, kind of see how comfortable a player is. I mean, when it came to Lawrence, it was just watching his poise in the pocket, his decision making, his arm strength, and the fact that he's secretly very, very athletic. He can pick up a first down with his legs or more. Kind of extended drive. On that third, a 3rd and 3, maybe a little scramble to pick up that first down and keep going. So, I mean, I think he has the whole package. I mean, I'm certainly not a quarterback guru or anything like that, but yeah, I'm pretty excited to have him here.
Yeah, it was interesting. Oddly enough, the one game I remember him wasn't the national championship against Alabama,
Yeah.
but that Fiesta Bowl against Ohio State where they kicked the tar out of him, and Lawrence just and in that game Lawrence was a runner and nobody could catch him. And that was an Ohio State defense
Right.
with Chase Young,
Yep.
and they couldn't catch Lawrence when he scrambled.
Yeah, he's definitely a deceptive with his legs, and I think that's going to certainly come in handy because the Jaguars' offensive line still has some holes. I mean, it's certainly not the strength of the team, so he's going to have to be on his P's and Q's back there. But I think his height and compared to a Gardner Minshew, hopefully will allow him to see down the field a little bit better. And I think with the new offensive coordinator, I think they're going to be able to push the ball down a little bit down the field.
Yeah, so oddly enough, people are thinking of quarterback, but to me, the strength of the Jaguars is the offense, and preferably, I'm not sure there will be a team with Travis Etienne and James Robinson as a tandem. I mean, find me a better tandem in football right now. I know people say, what about Jonathan Taylor and Naheem Hines? But James Robinson was 1,000-yard rusher.
Sure.
Travis Etienne's it's one of the greatest running backs in ACC history.
Right. Yeah. They're both young, and they're both gonna have their mark. I mean, they're going to have to prove it to everybody to prove that they're up there with the level of Chubb and Hunt in Cleveland or something like that.
Chubb
but,
and Kareem Hunt, you've 1A.
Yeah, they're probably the top. But I mean, I think that they have the potential to do some things and mix things up, be on the field at the same time. Certainly cause mismatches. I mean, that's something that Urban Meyer likes to do. I mean, he covets speed and quickness and hitting fast. So I mean, I think having both of them on the field is going to put the defense on their heels, I guess, really.
So speaking of Urban Meyer, obviously remember what he did, Utah, Florida, and the Ohio State, but how will he fare in the NFL when he's not A, recruiting his own players, and B, undoubtedly lose a few more games than he ever did in college.
Right. Yeah. I mean, as I mentioned before, I don't think he comes to the NFL, let alone Jacksonville, unless he has this perfect situation. I mean, he's coming in. People talk about him, having pressure and stuff. I don't think there's any pressure, not this first year. I mean, they certainly want to see an improvement from a 1-15 record, but I mean, he comes in. He has a history of winning everywhere he goes. I want to say at Ohio State, he was there for 7 years. Maybe he lost 9 games or something like that. He's going to possibly lose more than that this first year here in Jacksonville. But I think what he brings is a mindset that a lot of players buy into. I recently kind of read his book Above the Line, which really kind of just encapsulates the national championship season at Ohio State. Really talks about, setting the bar high, that his lowest expectation is the team's highest expectation, kind of thing. So I mean, he talks about just the constant motivation, having that carrot out in front of you that you're going after. And I think we've seen a lot of that just nationally and everywhere, that that he's willing to push to toe the line. I mean, is he a saint? Absolutely not. I mean, judging from some of his record, or his rap sheet, I guess, in his college days from Florida and Ohio State. I mean, he definitely knows to toe the line. I mean, heck, he's already been fined $200,000 for the OTA infractions, which I'm not surprised at all. But I mean, I think what you're going to get from him is someone that's going to do what it takes to win, and he's going to be a hard worker. He's going to be there day and night. I mean, compared to some of the coaches that the Jaguars have seen in the past, whether it's Bradley or Marone, or even dating back to old JDR, Jack Del Rio, I think Urban's going to come in here with the mindset to do things his way and motivate the team to reach him there.
Are you worried about Urban coming from college, because we've seen a bunch of college coaches now succeed? Or do you think because the college and pro games are so similar, with teams trying to throw, you've got 3, 4, sometimes 5 receiver sets out there, do you think the fact that Urban knows and understands college football and can work with young players, could that be an advantage with a very young team in Jacksonville?
I think that's an excellent point, Dylan. Is how the game has evolved, how college football and professional football have kind of just really come together. I think with the youth of the team, I think that's going to speak to him, or he's going to be able to speak to them, better than if it was a group of savvy veterans or whatever the case may be. I mean, this team is young; they're hungry. There are a handful of people still on the team who've had these 2 back-to-back horrible years, and there's really only, you can probably count on one or two fingers the players that are still here from 2017's miraculous run up that ended in New England. So I think what you mentioned. I know the history of coaches coming from college to professional is not that great. I mean, you got your Nick Sabans who flamed out, but you also have the Jimmy Johnsons and the Pete Carrolls who kind of came in. So I think there's an opportunity that maybe, who knows, maybe Urban kind of follows that role. I mean, I think it's a similar situation to what Jimmy Johnson came in to Dallas in the early 90s. I mean, obviously they got the first pick. Johnson got Aikman, or Myers got Lawrence, and kind of just build from there. But I think his mindset about speed and just attack is going to be something that it's going to speak to the fans. I mean, of Jacksonville, who just really just haven't seen a lot of offense the last several years. So I mean, to see a team come out and just be aggressive and try and go down the field is going to be something that fans aren't used to, but something they're going to get excited about.
And I know one other thing fans will be excited to see, and that's Tim Tebow putting on the pads.
Absolutely, yeah. He's certainly a polarizing figure. I mean, maybe not as much as he was 10 years ago, but I mean, they're certainly nationally they're blowing it up as far as him coming back. But I mean, I think the guy's coming. He's showing up to work. He's gonna try. He's gonna try and make the team. There's no guarantees. I mean, starting at 33 years old at a new position, tight end, on a professional level, it's gonna take some getting used to, and he's gonna have to roll with it and take the punches and learn on the fly. I mean, the season's only a couple months away, but I mean, certainly excited for. I mean, it's his hometown. Obviously, he played at the University of Florida, won two national championships. There's a huge Florida Gator fan base here in town, so I'm sure they're happy to see him. But I think the national media is really blowing it all out of proportion. And I mean, I wish the guy the best of luck. And I mean, if he makes it, great. If not, and he tried. Maybe he can go try golf after this. I don't know.
Oh gosh, you imagine Tim Tebow, Bryson DeChambeau, Phil Mickelson, Tom Brady for the next episode of the match.
There you go. Exactly.
I can attest when Tim Tebow came to Full Miles for a spring training game in 2019, nobody left until Timmy got in a bet.
I imagine, yeah. I mean, he's certainly he has a mass following. He has people who love him. There's certainly some haters out there, but I think the haters they want to see him fail, and I mean, I don't think that's cool at all. So I mean, kudos, go for it, bud. Why not?
So going into this year, who are some breakout players you're looking at for the Jaguars this year?
Well, I certainly hope somebody on the defense breaks out because the defense last year was absolutely atrocious. I mean, just points after points. I want to say they yielded close to 33 points a game, something ridiculous like that, or just under 30. I don't have my stats in front of me, but yeah, I mean, just I'd like for them to get to the quarterback, cause a little ruckus. I mean, Josh Allen took a step back after his rookie year. They did try and address some of that in free agency, and it seems like they're moving from a 4-3 to a 3-4, which is going to free up Chazon a little bit more, maybe play a little bit more of a natural position for him, and instead of just being on the end, more of an outside linebacker. But to answer your question, I think the free agent signing that's going to come up and surprise everybody is the Marvin Jones signing. I think him coming in as the number 2 receiver. Yes, I'm sorry, Laviska, he's going to be number 2. But I think Marvin Jones is going to come in. I mean, he's got the experience. He's got the attitude. He's got the veteran leadership to come into that locker room and really do a good job, not only within the wide receiver room, but also I think he's going to build a nice relationship with Trevor Lawrence. I think Lawrence is going to be looking for him as the go-to guy more so than Chark. I mean, I think Chark is certainly in a contract year. He's looking to have a big year, but I think Marvin Jones coming in is a little bit of an under the radar selection for your fantasy football fans out there, or just the casual fans. I mean, I think he's going to have a rebirth here in Jacksonville, and I'm excited to see what he brings to the table. Did you have anybody that you thought about?
I'm intrigued by the Marvin Jones sign because you know what helps any young quarterback? A veteran slot receiver. Guess what Marvin Jones can be? A veteran slot receiver.
Absolutely. I mean, and I mean, he certainly had some really nice games in Detroit. I mean, he had a solid quarterback up there, another bad team, historically, but I think him coming here, I think he's gonna, bring his professionalism to the locker room and on the field, and I think he's going to be a big target for Lawrence, and get those crucial first down catches.
Yeah, and if teams are doubling Chalk or will focus on the running game, Jones can be there in the slot and take advantage. To me,
absolutely.
To me, I think 2 guys who need big years this year. One is C.J. Henderson because, with the Jags signing Shaq Griffin and drafting who was it? Tyson Campbell, the corner from Georgia. I think C.J. Henderson needs a big year. And be honest, Josh Allen and Jason will be huge this year because I think this 3-4 scheme will be more like what they ran in college because Josh Allen was a menace in
He
3-4
was a beast.
Kentucky, and
Yes.
Jason could rush the quarterback in a 3-4. So hopefully this scheme is more like it.
Yeah.
Because if the Jags defense is somewhat decent, I think they'll put up a few points.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. I want to say they were like 29th or 30th. If they could get to the middle of the road this year, defensively, that would be absolutely huge. And yeah, you're right. Allen and Chazon, I think this new 3-4 hybrid is gonna fit their skill set a lot better and hopefully cause some chaos in the opposing backfield.
So now we get to the fun part. I've done this with a few of my guests, so I'm thinking we do a little Jags trivia right now. So
Ooh,
go ahead.
okay.
I want you to test my Jaguar knowledge right now.
Sure. All right, Dylan. Who is the all-time sack leader for the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Oh God. Oh man.
Played at
Tony
Texas.
Brockers.
Tony Brackens. Yep. Very good. Very good. Very good.
And I've got one for you. So we talked about college coaches transitioning to the NFL. Well, where did Tom Coughlin coach before the Jaguars hired him?
Sure. Well, he was coaching in the NFL, and then he went to Boston College. He was a Boston College Eagle before he became the inaugural head coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Was Coughlin the coach the year BC knocked off #1 Notre Dame in '93?
That's an excellent question. I want to say that he was. I want to say that he was. That's an excellent question. We'll have to take away here. It's possible. I remember watching that one too. I was with my family because once again, grew up going to the Gator games. We were at the Gators just beat somebody, and we were in I don't know the lobby / bar area waiting for a table after the game, and that game was on, and I was like, all right, very good, go
Yeah,
BC.
that was the week after Notre Dame beat #1 FSU,
Right,
and of
right,
course
right.
the Irish let down as always.
Sure, as always. Yep, absolutely.
So thank you for hopping on the podcast, and hopefully Trevor Lawrence will be throwing a few touchdowns this year.
Sunshine, we need you. Come on, Sunshine.
You imagine Trevor Lawrence throws a touchdown pass to Tim Tebow. Or maybe
Yeah.
Tim Tebow throws a jump pass to Trevor Lawrence.
Why not? Why not? That would not surprise me at all. The way Urban Meyer's mind thinks sometimes. So yeah.
I'm just saying, Urban, Urban will have at least 1 or 2 jump passes for Tebow.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, and they would have no chance to complete because they're like jump pass 85 to somebody in green.
Right. Exactly.
Okay, so thanks for
Exactly.
hopping on, and we wish you all the best.
Thanks, Dylan. I appreciate it. Had a good time.